Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa lahat ng nakikinig po.
Hello to all our viewers from here and around the world.
Napakaganda na ating talinteman ngayong hapon ito.
Isang mainit na pagbati po sa inyong lahat.
Well, friends,
welcome to the Bridges Show.
I'm very happy to be here, and I think it should be a really interesting and fun topic.
But there are things you want to learn. So I wanna take it from there and then I listen to them.
Meron sila mga mitiin upang maging makabuluhan pa ang pagiging Katoliko. Lalong-lalo na sa susunod na henerasyon.
Sa akin po, sa mga kabataan, use competence as a basis.
In real life, hindi naman talaga tayo tumitigil sa buhay. Kailangan talaga tuloy lang ang buhay kahit anong challenges natin.
Palawan, Cebu, Baguio City, Atty. Dwight, pati La Union. So we are saying that revenge travel is real.
Mas kailangan natin na i-share ang hiwaga ng sining sa mga tao.
Food and health should go hand in hand. So yan ang gusto namin paratingin sa gobyerno.
If you will just devote your life teaching, hindi ka yayaman sa pera, pero yayaman ka sa tao.
Siyempre, ang pinakamaganda po naman sa ating universidad ay yung talagang natuturuan po tayo kung paano maging mabuting tao.
Happy anniversary to Bridges! Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
With the transition to the fourth industrial revolution came the advent of the so-called digital economy, powered by the internet, big data analytics, quantum computing, robotics, machine learning, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence, to name a few. New service models and business models were developed and were born, including Amazon, Uber, and Grab. A plethora of online services, such as online banking, online shopping, online learning, and soon, online anything will be driving the global digital economy. Indeed, the last pandemic has accelerated the uptake of digital connectivity and the adoption of digital services by individuals and businesses, and with it, the clamor for the digitalization of governmental services, or e-government, is now more pressing and persistent. As we moved into the digital economy, it became clear that we need to be cognizant that digital services, social media, and the emergence of frontier technologies such as Internet of Things, augmented and virtual reality, and artificial intelligence require a revisit of how we conduct businesses or business ethics from a different perspective. This session seeks to give an overview of the business norms and ethics in the digital economy. Magandang hapon po to our viewers and listeners. We are happy to welcome you back to Bridges, a University of Santo Tomas Alumni Association, or USTAAI, virtual talk show that showcases notable Thomasian alumni and provides them an opportunity to share their expertise and experiences on various topics for lifelong learning through our informal, simple, and down-to-earth conversations. This show is an initiative of the USTAAI Team Academics under its Informal Lifelong Learning Program. I am Aldrin Chen, an alumni of the UST Faculty of Engineering, CHE Batch 2014, and currently the property custodian of UST, one of your hosts for today's episode of Bridges. This Bridges episode is brought to you by the UST Alumni Association Incorporated and UST Communications Bureau. Episode 106 of Bridges, Season 3, Digital Ethics, Rebooting Our Values and Ways of Working in the Digital Economy, is sponsored by the UST Engineering Alumni Association Incorporated. And we are also glad to have our sponsors today, Imperial Nova, and Engineer Arman Cacacho of UST Civil Engineering Batch 1976 was also our guest speaker in last week's episode of Bridges. My co-host for today is Engineer Diana Marie Bulatao. Engineer Diana Marie graduated with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering from the University of Santo Tomas, batch 2015. She's a licensed electronics engineer with more than 6 years of experience in the telecommunications industry, with experience as a lead design engineer for in-building systems at Globe Telecom and also Meralco Industrial Engineering Services Corporation. She's also experienced as a radio frequency engineer with Globe, involved with nationwide radio network access planning. Currently, she is the country sales consultant for Matsing Incorporated, a US-based company developing and producing the world's first commercial lens antenna. Engineer Diana Marie is also currently a part-time instructor at the UST Faculty of Engineering. Welcome to the show, Engineer Diana. At batiin naman po natin ang ating mga viewers, ma'am.
Hello, good day everyone. Mabuhay sa lahat ng ating viewers, especially here in the Philippines and even in abroad, no? To our fellow Thomasians there, hello po. Very much excited for today's episode, Sir Alvin. I'm very grateful to USTAAI for inviting me as your co-host today. So, Sir Alvin, no? Actually, I just started as a part-time instructor around months ago. So, this is a new for me.
Hindi pa tayo nagkikita in the hallways of UST, no, Ma'am Diana? Yeah. Maganda pag-usapan natin, Ma'am Diana, yung nangyari, Last Bridges, no? Nakapanood ka ba ng Last Bridges episode natin?
Yes, Sir Alvin. And actually, the topic was at some point overwhelming, no? Because the discussion tended to explain to us how vast and how overwhelming our technology nowadays, especially with the execution of the specialized AI robot feature named Sophia at the time, a robot, an agent that we can use to in various occasions, such as in a research facility, in museum, and even in healthcare sector. So parang especially na nagkaroon tayo ng existing problem in the pandemic years regarding our healthcare sectors, the number of our nurses. And yes, Sophia, a robot, can help in utilizing our healthcare sectors and in helping our current nurses. But at some point, na-realize ko na during the discussion is how overwhelming that was, because the robot acts like a human.
Totoo, ma'am, no? Grabe na yung dami ng mga applications na kayang i-encompass ng AI ngayon. And in a way, parang exciting isipin kung saan tayo papunta with this particular revolutionary AI, no?
Yes, Sir Aldrin. And the possibilities, and as we look back, di ba, parang dati we never thought that a robot at that level, kasi usually that robot yung mga around 10 years, 5 years ago, just do some simple activities lang, just like jumping or walking or talking. But now they act like humans na. So it kind of excites me as well. But the realization that we as humans, how can we behave, or how we embrace that kind of possibilities, our behavior, our morals. So paano natin siya nga dadalhin, paano tayo mag-workout with this kind of digitalization?
Totoo yan. Kaya na-excite ako sa topic natin ngayong hapon, no? Kasi hindi lang encompassing yung technicalities ng AI, kundi yung morality and ethics, no, that comes with the use and the development of this technology.
So that's why today's topic is very helpful for us. This episode is entitled Digital Ethics, Rebooting Our Digital Values. So we will now tackle regarding what will be the values that we needed in order to use these technologies correctly, no? But before we move on with the show, friends, our listeners, our viewers, please don't forget to like and share our show and subscribe to our UST Thomasian Alumni Community YouTube channel. You're very welcome for that, and there are many videos that you can watch. So in today's episode, we have a very interesting topic to discuss. And please allow me to introduce our very special guest for today. He is a graduate of UST High School way back 1977 and graduated with a degree of BS in Electronics Engineering from the University of Santo Tomas in 1982. He is a licensed professional electronics engineer with over 40 years of experience, especially with two-year experience as an part of the academe, 9 years as a government telco regulator, and 29 years in the private telecommunications sector. His area of specialization includes telecommunications policy and regulations, standardizations, spectrum management, end-to-end network architecture, network evolutions, together with strategy development and emerging technology adoption strategies, focusing on emerging and frontier technology. Currently, he is the SVP and Head of Regulatory Development and Strategy, reporting directly to Globe Group Legal Counsel, where he is responsible for the development and implementation of regulatory strategies and digital regulations, development and implementations. Also, he contributes to the development of Globe's technical position papers related to new legislation and policies related to the ICT industry, which will help shape our country's transition towards the digital economy and e-governance. And ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our multi-awarded guest for this session of Bridges and our fellow Thomasian, Engineer Manny R. Estrada.
Hello po, Sir Manny.
Hi, good afternoon, good day, good evening kung nasaan man kayo. Kasi pagka ganitong virtual session, hindi mo talaga alam kung saan nagagaling yung audiences mo. No? That's why we always give them good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. So I hope you all have a good day out there and you're healthy.
Ayan, tama, no? Maaaring marami tayong mga manonood and listeners abroad. Nagabi sa kanila or umaga. Thank you po, no, for joining us to our listeners. And of course, welcome to our show, Engineer Manny. And before we start with the formal discussion, tanungin ko muna kayo, Engineer Manny, kailan po ba kayo huling nakapunta ng UST?
Kailan ba yung nag-attend ako dyan ng Distinguished Thomasian Alumni Night kasi? I think that was...
2 years ago yata yun, no po?
Hindi naman.
Hindi naman? Ito lang ba?
Last year lang ata.
Ayun, dahil babalik nyo lang pala, Engineer Manny, what can you say is the difference between the UST noon and the UST now?
Well, yung bigyan kita ng just an idea. No? Yung batchmate ko na huli namin nakita 46 years ago na nag-graduate kami in high school, nagbalik bayan siya and he visited the campus. And sabi ko sa nakita mo? Ay, ibang-iba na. Una-una, sabi niya, ang ganda na nung harap nung main building. Kako yung Plaza Mayor. Plaza Mayor na ba yung niyan? Kasi nung araw, hindi naman ganun yun eh. Kasi wala na yung mga shade, yung nilalakaran natin. Alam ka ako yung...
Opo, no? Naging na.
Oo. Kako pag nag-ikot-ikot ka, ang daming developers. At saka, yung gym, 10 stories na ngayon. Kako hindi gym yun. Chipak yun. Namin yun. Event place namin yun. Yung gym kako nasa tapat ng engineering.
Hinahanap po nila yung dating gym, ano?
Oo. Pati nga yung pinagpapractice namin ng singing group dati, doon sa likod ng main building. Dati, Bamboo Groves yun eh. Ngayon, it's not the main line. So, marami na bago. No? And ako personally, every time I would go there, kasi nag-aral pa yan ako doon, na-amaze ako sa what has developed. Ang nakikita ko, unang-una, ang dami ng tao sa campus, compare kami. Second, yung pang, alam mo ba yung feeling mo na nostalgic ka na nung araw, ganito, ngayon, ganito na. So, where else? What else could be developmental in the future? Sabi ko nga, kung aabutin ko pa yung 500 years celebration ng UST, I will be a totally different campus together. But of course, hindi naman tayo immortal, ano, until, and sabi ko, yung mga future generations na yan.
Ang sarap pong imagine no, ano pa po yung mga madadagdag natin sa UST. Lalo na po ngayon, sunod-sunod yung mga bago nating construction, no, na mga building at facilities.
Oo. Yung mga student dati, yung sa Tankak, yung na building na sa likod, wala yung dati kasi we don't have that, walang ganun dati dun eh. It was part of the so-called lovers lane noong araw.
Even now nga, sir, meron na rin tayong building outside the perimeter ng UST, si Prasad.
Oo, yung nasa Isabel Building, meron pa tayong bridgeway.
Oh.
Yes.
So kami,
kami
ng batch 2015, medyo nagulat ako nung pag-visit ko ulit nito lang din, sir. Nagulat ako, part pala din siya ng UST.
Oo nga. Well, meron pa isang magandang development. Noong araw, lumalabas kami para kumain eh. Ngayon, meron na mga kainan sa loob.
Totoo po yan.
Kaya nung nandun yung anak ko, sabi ko sa kanya, hanapin mo yung SR Thai, yung Thai food dun sa merong pinubal. Hindi niya na makita.
Yes.
Hindi na makita.
Masarap po yung fried rice doon. Kasi lumalabas din po ang mga batch namin ni Ma'am Diana noon. Nung time namin sa Noval, Dapitan, at saka doon sa dulo ng Lacson.
So, ayun na, sir, parang ang dami lagi ng changes and parang nag-move towards din pati yung construction pati yung design ng school. So, in terms of career naman, sir, how is it? Actually, I was part of Globe way months ago, so I know you as part of the network technical, and now you are part of the legal council. So how is it? What are the difference and how you became part of the legal group?
Ay, oo. Okay. So, isa kasi nakikita namin ngayon, na nag-evolve kami kasi from a telco to a technology company na. Kaya you might wonder, bakit Globe Group na yung pinag-uusapan? Kasi under Globe Group, under Globe itself, ang daming portfolio companies eh. And all of these are having to do with, for example, GCash is a fintech company. There is Consulta MD, which is an e-health e-health company with some partners. And then we also have 917 Ventures that's really more into yung mga innovative services, yung mga development ng innovation services at digital services namin. There's still a lot more. Yung Kickstart is an angel investor, for startup siya talaga, developer for the startup. So we're moving there. The other thing that nakikita namin kasi is the more that the country goes digital, the more that you now need to have focus on helping shape yung policies ng gobyerno.
Yes, sir.
No? And then they needed somebody who has deep technical background to help them understand all of this. Kasi nung tinignan, for example, namin yung e-health services, walang regulasyon nun eh. Nag-start kami, well, in one way, okay siya kasi walang regulations, but at some point in time, you have to seriously think that you have to have some regulations, that there are standards na susundin, and that you are able to manage also na hindi nilang parang kahit papano. No? So it has to have a framework, it has to have some level of control. So then they said, we needed somebody with a technical background who also understands policy. Nagkataon naman na 9 years of my career was with the government writing policies. Part ako nung team na nagsimula ng deregulation ng industry at that time. Nasa NPC pa ako. And that's how they say, alam nyo sa loob ng Globe, meron tayong ganyan. Si Estrada, ang usapan, papayagan tayo ng mga boss niya ngayon dun sa kanyang technical na lumipat. And pumayag naman because everyone understands na we need to have somebody to do that.
Yes.
Not just for Globe per se, but for the entire industry. Kaya paminsan-minsan palagi ko rin kausap yung mga taga-NTC, yung mga taga-DACT, but more really on itong policies. Kasi ang dami nating laws na kung titignan mo, hindi na siya relevant ngayon. I mean, dahil alam mo to yung Radio Control Act is 92 years old.
Not
How
yet
can we
updated.
now have a Radio Control Act that will be responsive to the technologies that we start to put in?
Yeah, so we're very much excited, Sir Manny, to tackle our topic for today, because the focus now is to have this behavior, our values towards this digitalization. So our topic for today, digital ethics, rebooting our values and ways of working in a digital economy. So, sir, what is this digital ethics? No? How can you explain this to us, the viewers as well?
Actually, kanina sabi mo, exciting yung topic. I would like to think na more provocative to and thought-provoking itong topic na to.
Mahirap.
Yung mga values natin, yung mga values ng mga nagde-develop ng services, yung mga nagde-develop ng batas, yung nagde-develop ng guidelines, para sa transition natin, transformation natin in a digital world, how we all behave in a digital world. Ngayon, yung ganun kasi, it requires an understanding, not just of the technology itself, ano ba tong technology na to? Ano ba made-develop nito? But also understand, meron ba associated na moral and ethical issues that arise from the use of these technologies? Bigyan ka example, privacy, security,
yes,
online behavior. Diba? Online behavior, TikTok. And the impact of technology on society. Ngayon, ang isang importante yan, it's not just us tayo na mga nasa academe, nasa industriya, nasa gobyerno, but every single Filipino who is working and engaging and, availing of the services of social media, for example, dapat maintindihan nila kung ano yung consequences ng kanilang action in the world. Kasi technology, sabi nila, is intended to serve humans. Which means that it can be used for either good purpose or otherwise. Bakit nasabihin mo gano'n? Kasi merong good and bad na tao. So yan yung importansya ng digital ethics. Ngayon, susunod. Bakit ba importante ito? Nakailangan natin tignan. Other than, of course, yung how people behave on the internet, on the social media. Kung titignan nyo yung nangyari sa pandemic, from the period na nag-lockdown tayo from 2020 to 2021, yung country natin has been established as the fastest growing digital economies among member ASEAN states.
Number 1 nga, sir, in terms of social media.
Oo, yung mga
Social media topic
ilang
tayo.
oras kayo nagbababada sa social media, 10 oras. Diba?
Totoo po.
Diba? Ngayon, but itong tinitingnan natin ito, hindi lang yung sa social media, but in the case nung pandemic, the reason why the economy did not actually stand still was because we have an underground economy that was living behind yung transactions on the internet. Kung titignan mo yon, during that period, ang laki nung ginamp natin at saka yung rapid adoption ba ng digital tech services. Kasi bigyan ko example, yung GCash has been there since 2004. Kami pa yung nag-design yan Ang gumagamit kami lang. In fact, nung lumipat tayo sa BGC, tayo mga kaglob sa BGC, pinagbawal ang cash transactions. Everything via GCash. Kasi
cashless.
Oo, para mainganyo kami, masanay kami magamit.
Gumagamit ng
Ngayon nagka-pandemic, wala ka namang choice Di ba? Una-una natatakot yung tao na hawakan yung pera kasi baka daw nadala tayo. So mamagana ng mga discussion. So yun. And then, yung e-commerce sector na yan, pag merong isang report na nabasa ko na it's going to hit $22 billion by 2025. in terms of gross merchandise value. Ano ba yung gross merchandise value? Yung gross merchandise value, ito yung transactions, at total amount of transactions and volume na nagamit sa e-commerce. Ano ba yung e-commerce? Nalala nyo ba yung add to cart?
Nako, mukhang allergic tayo dyan minsan kasi sumusobrang add to cart natin, no?
Yung 4 and 4, yung mga sale na ganyan.
Ang bilis po ng transaction.
Di ba? Sino sa atin ang hindi gumamit ng Grab? O nagpa-deliver sa Lalamove? These are all parts of the e-commerce. So, ang laki talaga ng ano niya, no? Ngayon, meron pang isang even more interesting study. Sabi nila yung artificial intelligence na yan. Yung adoption niyan sa Pilipinas may add another 92 billion US dollars in the Philippine economy by 2030. Pero may catch. Sabi ng AT Kearney, which is one of those consultants, may catch. Ang kailangan lang, we play it right. Pag in-adapt natin ito, we transition to e-government, for example, we do it right. Kasi if you don't do it right, hindi mangyayari 92 billion. Baka yung 92 billion kasi na mapunta yan. Diba? So doon ngayon naka-anchor yung pinag-usapan natin na how we do it, what do we observe, how do we behave in doing all of this. No? So yan ang importante ng usapan natin ngayon.
Bali, ang ganda sir, no? Kasi na-connect natin ngayon yung kahalagahan ng revolution natin in the AI sa digital economy natin. Pero Sir Manny, maaari mo ba kami bigyan ng situationer? Ano po ba ngayon yung situation natin when it comes to setting the limitations and the right protocols to govern yung mga ganitong klaseng development? And what could happen if we overlook yung importance ng digital ethics to these areas of our development?
Okay. Ganda rin tanong yan kasi tingnan muna natin ano ba yung mga iba-ibang elements o components ng digital ethics. Number one is protection of privacy and personal data. Bigyan natin example, yung close to our hearts. When you open up a GCash account and you register your account, di ba hinihingan kayo ng ID? Hinihingan kayo ng, parang din nagbabangko ka. If you open a bank transaction, it's the same. You get your information from them. Now, that information is part of your private personal information. And that has to be protected. Habang dumadami yung digital service na ganyan, who else has your data?
Ang dami na. Parang ang dami ko na yata nasendan ng selfie.
Exactly.
ng mga application. No?
Oo, diba? Yung SIM card registration is one. Yung sa GCash is one. Sa Bango is one. And a host of others. When you access an internet page and you wanted to be a member of a particular group, don't you also use your credentials for that? So that's a lot of information out there. And we have to be able to protect that. Kasi prone yan. Second is, rule number one, do no harm. When you do something, kung nagkaroon kayo nag-develop kayo ng digital services, it should not do any harm. No? By ensuring that based on technology na walang negative consequence o implications sa mga individuals. Bigyan kayo ng magandang example. Itong ginagawa natin ngayon, Zoom. Diba? We're able to converse and discuss topics all across. Magandang use kasi nakakapag-share tayo ng ideas or concepts. But it can also be used for something else. During the pandemic, we landed as one of the #1 countries in the region that has a high incidence of online sexual abuse and exploitation. And then, Capitol, ano pa ba yung lumalabas investigasyon nila? Well, it was even the parents who were doing it because
yes, sir.
So, ano yung importante? You are doing harm. So that is not how it should be. Yung technology was not intended for that purpose. Di ba? Trust and credibility. Sa mga bumibili dyan, nakikita ko sa Facebook, minsan nag-deliver yung sa Food Panda. Ang dami-dami order, Grab Food. Wala naman lang order.
Scam pala, sir.
Mga bogus, no? Bogus.
Mga bogus. Yung bang pinaprank ka na hindi mo maintindihan. But that is also a wrong behavior. And people...
Kumbaga, Sir Manny, no? Sinasabi niyo po na yung AI ay dependent rin sa user, no, yung magiging impact niya. So tama po ba na, to my understanding, ang trabaho natin as policymakers is to provide safeguard para maiwasan natin yung harmful na paggamit ng mga ganito po bang technologies, no?
Kailangan mo mag-provide ng guidelines or framework para mapakinabangan mo. Well, don't even think AI kasi kahit anong technology, di ba? Pwedeng gamitin for both good and bad. No? It can be used to discriminate against people. No? Maaring titingnan nila ay pag nasa internet naman yan, wala naman tayo accountability yan, hindi naman tayo.
Yes sir, lalo na ngayon sa mga fake news.
Oo. yung matindi sa AI is yung mga deepfakes. Kasi they can create a deepfake, no, na pupunta sa web, mag-announce doon ng kung anong announcement o walang pasok sa from May to June, then everybody happy pero deepfake pala. Kala nila si Vice President and Secretary Sara Duterte deepfake pala. So you have to have that so that people will be aware na, oy, ito is outside the bounds of law. Kasi minsan sabihin na, nag-order ako ng 100 ng kahon ng pizza, papadeliver ko sa bahay nila Diana. Pero prank lang. Kawawa naman
yung delivery guy.
Delivery. Kasi it was not stated na ito, hindi na ito nakakatawa. Nakakasagabal na kayo, nakakadamage
Yes,
na kayo.
May negative effect na siya eh.
Oo.
So, overall, this sir, sa mga, especially sa mga na-mention nga natin na negative or bad side ng paggamit ng technologies and digitalizations, are there existing policy or regulations here in the country, in the Philippines, to regularize or to check this digital ethics today?
Meron naman, many of them are fairly recent. And there's still some other laws in development, excuse me.
Lalo ngayon, no, ang dami ng mga bagong technologies. Lalo na nung nag-pandemic, parang naging exponential yung growth tuloy ng mga paggamit natin ng mga technologies na ito.
Ito, tingnan nyo yung mga meron tayo. Yung paborito namin, yung Philippine Data Privacy Act of 2012. Yung commissioner niya, si John Philip Laga, is a colleague of ours in industry. In 2009, meron tayong Anti-Child Pornography Act. Pero fairly recently, noong 2022, in July, nagkaroon na ng anti-online sexual abuse and exploitation of children na Act, July 2022. In fact, yung implementing rules and regulations niyan, we met with the industry sometime in March. Meron kami dyan. Meron din tayong cyber prevention crime of 2012 kasi nagsisimula na nun yung nakikita nila na dumadami na yung mga crimes related na cyber crimes. You see, ang problema pa sa cybercrime knows no territorial boundaries. Transborder yan.
Yes.
No, kaya nung dine-develop namin yan, because I was one of the people who provided inputs to this Cybercrime Prevention Act, yung framework namin is yung European Union Cyber Prevention Act. Kasi transborder siya and we also had references to what was being done in the regions sa Singapore and even sa Australia and then also Japan. Ito, hindi nyo isipin na part siya ng digital ethics laws natin ngayon. Bago mag-pandemic, nagkaroon ng Philippines Telecommuting Act of 2018. Pag titignan mo itong law na to, what it does is to prevent employers from discriminating against people who telecommute. So you cannot be, your salary cannot be diminished, yung chances for promotion will not be diminished because you were telecommuting. In fact, nung nagsimula ito ng 2018 sa Globe, nagkaroon kami yung work from hub. And what we were trying to do is to address yung loss of people's productive time because they were stuck somewhere in traffic. So kung may malapit sa'yo na Globe Hub na dinesignate ito, you can always go there. Kaya nung nag-lockdown noong 2020, petik-petik kami dito kasi we've been doing it for quite some time. You know? And then, nung year 2000, nagkaroon ng Philippines E-Commerce Act. But you need to change and update the Philippine E-Commerce Act. Kaya ngayon, may pending bill tayo sa Congress, yung House Bill number 4, Internet Transactions Act. Kasi nung ginawa ito noong year 2000, hindi pa naman uso yung mga online na yan, yung mga lalabog na yan, Grab, wala pa yan. But now, dumadami na yun, kailangan tayong magkaroon ng panibagong bill. And then even more, para yung in terms of government naman, yung e-governance, ano? We have to move from the current mano-mano, dadalhin mo yung papel from one table to the next sa mga government offices, to something that's more digital, e-governance act. Nung hinimay ko yan fairly recently, ang ganda pa ng intent, no? Ang inisip namin kasi ngayon, una kailangan magkaroon ng data sharing. So kung halimbawa nag-submit ka na ng mga ID mo, credentials mo sa Department of Foreign Affairs, pag pupunta ka sa LTO ngayon, mag-apply ka ng driver's license, they can always call yung information na meron sa'yo na sinabit mo sa DFA, but with your permission. So they cannot simply pick it up without your consent. Ang isa sa mga importante dito, yung Philippine National ID. Yun dumating na pa yung sa inyo? Yun ang tanong.
Hindi pa.
Hindi pa rin yung akin.
More than a year.
So kung titingnan nyo, nagsisimula na tayong magkaroon ng mga policies that will help us with this one. But there's still more to come. No? Recently, nirelease yung United Nations recommendations for ethical AI. We were part of that. I think nung nirank tayo, we were ranked number 64 in terms of AI readiness in a total environment of 139 countries. So nasa gitna naman tayo. And people talk about this, iniisip na palagi connectivity. It's not just connectivity. You also have to have the people who are comfortable using the technology. Plus the fact that kailangan mo ng guidance for this. Regulations, ano yung pwede, ano yung hindi. Where does it end? Kasi nga tuloy-tuloy yan, yung development na yan.
Parang bigla ako nakarelate sa sinabi ni Sir Manny kanina na exciting topic. Hindi, it's more of, deep thinking, mapaisip ka. Kasi gaya sinabi ni Sir Manny, yung mga cybercrimes, no boundary. So kung mahuhuli po ang Pilipinas sa AI readiness and cybersecurity, nakakabahala yung magiging vulnerability natin with the advancement in technology sa iba pong mga regions. No? Pag tayo ay napabayaan yung ating regulations. No?
We had an interesting talk about that between some of the people in technology strategy in the network. Nandun pa ako about that. Kung wala tayong policy, hindi pa paborable sa atin yun. Bakit? Kasi lahat yung mga magde-develop ng AI yan na ayaw nila nagkaroon ng boundaries, wala silang framework, walang rules of the game, so to speak.
Limitless.
Limitless, pupunta lahat sa atin yan. So dito magde-develop. Okay yan, so paano natin kukontrolin ngayon yan? Di ba? Di ba parang yan yung OSAIC? Because we weren't strict enough. Kasi tingnan mo yung OSAIC law natin, yung 11930, was just approved in July 2022. By that time, tapos na yung nag-lockdown tayo, tapos na yung mga nagpapatok ng mga anak nila online. Di ba? Nahuli.
Ala na. Hindi na po nakuha yung target, no?
Exactly. So gano'n. Ideally kasi, yung policy framework should be run in parallel with your adoption of the process, the digital process or the digital services. Kapag ito nahuli, risk. Pag ito nauna, baka naman too premature, then hindi mo makakapture yung developments dito sa baba.
Totoo po. Pero ngayon, Sir Manny, saying na dapat sabay sila, sa Pilipinas po ba, ano nakikita nyo? Mas advanced po ba yung development natin in technology or yung policies natin and framework?
Ngayon, meron pang lag dun sa policies eh. In terms of technology adoption, I would venture and risk to say that we are practically running at par with our neighbors. But don't think like, wag niyong isipin yung Japan, medyo malayo na talaga yung Japan. Kasi yung
Ibang level.
1986
Or ASEAN po,
iba na yun.
ASEAN siguro.
Sa ASEAN, okay tayo.
Mm-hmm.
Noong 1988, yung first robot humanoid attendant, nakita ko na sa Japan. Pero, at that time, talagang within Japan framework lang. Hindi man nila binibenta yung solution sa labas. Pero with what we are seeing right now, no, unang-una sa totoo lang, very innovative at very creative yung mga Pilipino. Kaya
I would agree.
Still working with us, makikita mo yung nagpapahakaton kami.
Yes. Opo, maraming mga ganang events.
Hackathon kami, and then ini-encourage namin yung mga in-house people who have great ideas to bring that out. Nagpipitch sila. For a certain period of my career, I was part of the Globe Innovations Council, and we would ask the people to pitch their ideas. And it's anybody. It could be people from corporate communication, could be people from IT, could be people from sales, could be people, basta may maganda silang idea, and some of these ideas actually evolved na into services.
Maganda makita, sir, no, kapag ikaw ay may background on such technologies, tas i-apply mo sa iba't ibang mga field, the possibilities, no, very, very exciting to think about.
Siguro ang lang sir, tingin ko based on the behavior of many Filipinos, lalo na nitong nagkaroon pa ng SIM registration, isa sa concern lang nila regarding digitalization is security, especially yung mga personal information. So parang doon, feel ko doon yung medyo pa ang Filipinos, hindi pa fully ready for that. Especially if as yung sir, ang goal natin, ma-digitalize din pati yung mga government papers, government documents. But yun nga, yung kung hindi ready yung tao to give, or hindi rin sila palagay to give their personal information, medyo doon tayo magkakaroon ng lack of movement pa further.
Tama ka dyan, Dayan. In fact, pag titignan mo yung key components of digitalization when a country goes digital, importante yan, number one, connectivity. Hindi pa pwede kasi na lahat ng tao kasi saan dadaan yan. Diba? Saan ka magtutuloy ng transactions. Sumunod is yung culture of innovation and support for innovation. Actually, ang daming magagaling sa Pilipinas, ang daming nag-i-innovate sa Pilipinas, pero hindi naman nakakakuha ng enough support in terms of productization. For example, yung support ng government na ito, produktong Pilipino ito, i-showcase natin ito. Sumunod, is yung policy. Kasi kung wala namang policy, katulad yung natatandaan nyo to, naalala nyo ba, naging controversial yung Grab dati, di ba? Kasi gusto nyo CPCN yung Grab. Well, seriously, wala naman kasi sasakyan si Grab. Feeling lang siya. Yung sasakyan ng tao. So, sino mo?
Kumbaga, middleman, no?
Exactly.
Parang middleman.
Lang siya. So, si Grab pa o yung mga individual na Grab driver, kasama yung pinsan ko na nagmamaneho ng Grab. Ngayon, why is that? Kasi yung civil yung Public Service Act was written in 1946. Wala namang Grab noong araw. Wala namang...
Baka hindi pa po nila na-imagine na magkaroon ng Grab noong 1946.
Yung mga jeepney. Pero ngayon, dahil na-amend na yung Public Service Act, at in fact, dumating sa amin kahapon yung final version ng Implementing Rules and Regulation, na-address na yun.
That's nice to hear.
Otherwise kasi, di ba, can you imagine that? Yan yung mga kailangan. And then other than that, no, meron kami nakita, no, in an area where we have built coverage tayo sa globe, no. Nakita natin na people still have yung old phones nila.
Yes, nako sa probinsya po, usong-uso pa rin yun. Kahit
2G
pag
pa rin.
nagpa-load po kayo, nagpapa-load pa rin po yung mga tao sa sari-sari store kahit madali na mag-load through the
application, di ba? So, and the reason for that, no, is twofold. One is, una, technology averse sila. Iniisip nila, hindi pa namin kailangan yan. Okay na ako dito sa old Nokia ko.
Gumagana naman daw, sir.
Okay naman. Nakakatawag pa ako sa inyo. Second, issue iba, nakita namin to nung nagsi-SIM card registration na, ano ba yan? Hindi ba pwede isulat na lang namin yung information na yun? Tapos hindi nga kasi yung batas ginawa para online lahat yung pag-register mo ng SIM. So, nagkaroon ng mga ganong challenges. Ano? And it's because kulang din ng education, awareness. Ano bang gagawin itong new technology nito para sa amin? Nung nagkaroon ng GCash, walang gumagamit kasi iniisip nila. Kasi mahirap, alam mo ba yun, yung kailangan, paano ko kukuhanin yung pera niya rin nasa telepono ko yung token value lang. Eh pupunta ko kayo sa bangko, i-cash out nyo doon, or pero pumunta sa Tambunting, sa Luyer. Ay naku, hassle pa yan eh. Eh nag-lockdown. So forced to good, di ba? So mangyayari. Kasi ngayon lang appreciate nila kung bakit.
Talagang sa simula po, may hesitancy for change no? Until they see yung good effect of that particular change. Talagang may mga birth pains lang sa simula.
Yes. Pero the moment naman nasimulan mo na, baka naman parang addictive na.
Yun naman ang risk. Wala ka ng ibang dependency. Hindi ka na nagde-depend on yourself but on the technology na lang alone. Yun ang mahirap.
Ilan yun? Ilang oras sa online yung mga kabataan natin? Yeah.
Nauso nga rin, sir, lalo na sa AI natin, yung mga chat GPT. Parang papasin, sir, sa students. Parang sa mga may activity rin sila, parang madali parang doon na lang nila ginagawa.
Naging verb na nga, ma'am, ang chat GPT. No? I-chat GPT na lang natin. So talagang ginagamit na siya. Which is exciting but also worrying, no? Kung paano siya gagamitin at paano makaka-apekto sa atin, sa dependency natin on that particular application. No? Pero maganda na i-entra natin yung gaya ng chat GPT kasi it's an AI. Tama po ba, Sir Manny?
It's an AI.
And I think isa sa mga naging buzz nowadays ay yung paggamit itong chat GPT. So ano po ba yung mga AI? Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng mga artificial intelligence na technology?
Yan yung mga technology that focuses on, create sila ng mga solutions, ng mga devices, mga machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intervention, human intelligence, understanding, natural languages, yung pag-recognize ng images and decision making. Pero yung decision making nila is always based on data that they gather or that they have been trained to use. Yung tinatawag natin na training data. So ganyan yung artificial intelligence. There was an interesting question and ito importante para sa ating mga nagtuturo. ChatGPT as a source is good, but it does not train your students on ano yung proper means to do a real research. Kasi minsan nagiging over-dependence na lang yun. The problem with that is sometimes because ChatGPT is picking up information from all over the place at hindi naman din conversant yung estudyante sa topic na yun, then he will not be able to understand immediately na ito may flow, itong sinasabi ni ChatGPT na to. So therefore, he will come up with something na hindi tama. And the way for him to interact with ChatGPT is to tell ChatGPT, by the way, that is not correct. So that then, you can explain to ChatGPT, ito kasi yung tama. So in a way, nate-train mo si ChatGPT. Kasi if you feed ChatGPT with all the trash then, trash in, trash out din yan. So
Yun
yung
ang mahirap,
goal
no?
natin as a teacher is to make sure that when they do use artificial intelligence to help them with their work, that you inject a sense of need for them to still do the traditional research to validate the information that you get from ChatGPT. Dadami pa yan eh. And then even kayo, as a teacher, you have to know how to find out kung yung kinuha nila ng data, yung pinapresent nila ngayon, is galing sa ChatGPT. I think
Yes, kailangan niya.
Kailangan din namin makasabay, sir.
Bibigyan ko pa kayo ng isang klase ng AI. Narrow AI. Yung narrow AI is an AI that is focused on doing one particular role. So lahat ng gawin yan. Sample, Waze, Google Map. Ang Waze at Google Map, ang kanyang gagawin lang is navigation.
Yes.
And how does it get the information? Yung mga gumagamit ng Waze sends GPS information all across. So habang dumadami yan, padami yung data na pinag-aaralan niya. So now, pwede niya sabihin sa'yo na if I want to arrive at UST tomorrow at 12 noon, and you are coming in from your house in Parañaque or Makati, you have to leave by this time. Paano niya nalaman yon? Kasi historically, may information na siya na given these conditions of weather, during this particular day, ito yung pattern ng traffic jam. So we can get to that place with some level of accuracy in terms of the timing. But be prepared. Kasi pwede ka kung sa isang daan ng AI.
Mapunta ka sa ilogs.
Naalala niyo yung picture, yung napunta sa linis ng tren.
Yes.
Tapos ang sinasabi ng dalawa, sinundan lang naman namin yung AI eh. Bakit AI ba kayo? Kasi yung AI has intelligence, but it does not have something fundamental that humans have. Alam niyo kung ano yun? Common sense.
Yun.
Kayo nagmamaneho. Sabi ng AI, turn right in this corner. Tapos yung kabilang corner, PNR pala yun, release ng trend pala yun. Dapat mo susundin. And then you have to, di ba? You have to correct the AI to tell them. Kaya nga minsan, di ba, minamark mo sa Waze na ito, may construction dito. Ito, may aksidente dito. Para magagamit yung information to tell others, uy, magkakaroon ka ng delay kasi may information. Di ba? Yun yung mga kailangan talagang pag-isipan natin. That's why you need the guidelines, you need the framework to establish that. And then, yun din, dahil nag-create ka ng account sa Waze. So now Waze has information about you personally. It will know your traditional, yung behavior mo on what time you leave for office, what time you leave from work to go to your house. Yung mga usual na patterns mo, yung behaviors mo, it's learning that. Ngayon kung na-hack yun, pag na-hack yun, and then what? So now people will know, si Manny Estrada, ito yung pattern niya sa biyahe.
Nakakabahala, no? Malaman ng ibang tao yung day-to-day living mo.
Exactly. Then you start thinking about what if that information goes to somebody and they have other intent. Although nag-aano sila, yung bang nag-anonymize sila na information, so hindi talaga so hindi talaga siya, kahit na ma-hack siya, unlikely na ano ka. And there's still a lot of other technologies out there na nangyayari ngayon. And that's the reason why talagang continuing dapat yung pag-develop ng mga laws dito, mga framework. Mag-evolve yan as the technology evolves. If the ethical values are changed, then it has to change with the digitalization kasi you know what is allowed there. This capability is there. Pwede na pala ito ngayon. So ano yung pwede? No,
It
na
opens a lot of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Will not do any harm. It's fair. It will not cause discrimination. It will not,
Mhm.
totally mean exposing people's private identifiable information, so that others can use it for something else. So kung titingnan nyo yan, ang hirap talaga, very complicated siya. Lalo na kapag tinitingnan nila yung mga neural networks, kasi neural networks, nag-learn siya from the environment, kung ano na pinagagawa niya.
Mhm.
But then, how do you guide that? Ano yung kailangan mo for that?
Yeah, sir, medyo kaya yun nga, at some point overwhelming and some are afraid to think na parang ganito nga mapunta, especially yung mga robots nga na parang humanoid na, very humanoid na sila. So sir, tayo as Thomasians, how we incorporate and how important it is na yung values natin, yung competence, commitment, and compassion. So, how do we use this in developing these policies or guidelines towards digital ethics?
Ayan, circular yan, tatlong C na yan. Passion. Unang-una kasi, yung emerging technologies, you have to have the confidence to navigate the technology itself, understand it. And when you understand it, you understand not just what makes it tick. No. Ano ba? Kasi minsan inisip natin pag tayo engineers, hardware, software. Di ba? Yung lahat yung kanilang electromechanical segments that allow it to work. But it goes beyond that. We have to be able to understand not just the technology side, pero maintindihan mo, ano ba implication nito? Ng bagong technology nito to our society, ano ba talaga yung intention why I'm doing this, why I'm designing this? Para maintindihan mo kung ano yung benefits at saka yung mga risks associated with the technology. Hindi lang pwedeng puro benefits, kailangan mo tingnan yung risk. Kasi kung hindi mo tinignan yung risk, then yun na yung parang limitless. Wala nang bawal eh. Kasi wala pa risk na ganito, hindi mo nire-recognize yung risk na yun. That requires competence. So,
kailangan maalam ka sa technical para malaman mo yung mga risks ko. No?
Exactly. Susunod, naalala nyo, meron tayong values Thomasian values tayo. Ang pinaka-solid anchor natin para hindi tayo maligaw once we start doing policies related to this is yung ating importanteng mga values of fairness, equality, truthfulness. In society today, we also talk about inclusivity, no one gets left behind. Social responsibility, protection of the environment. Kasi pwede kang gumawa ng AI na hindi na protect yung environment o pwede kang gumawa ng AI na to help environment. But you have to have that commitment. Kasi kung nakita mo, competent ka dito, alam mo na, kabisado mo na. Pero hindi ka committed na i-impose yung fairness and value and equity, pagkatapos nakikita mo lang, ikikita kami dito, then that's where it becomes to be undone. Mawala yung anchor mo. Kasi yung pinaka-importante yung anchors natin is yung values natin sa Thomasian. Compassion, kasi you have compassion natin, yung third C natin. You cannot lose sight of the challenges that digital technologies are intended to address. Kasi yung simula nun but you have to view it from the perspective of yung kababayan mo, yung nation natin, yung tao, compassion for your fellow men. Pag nawala yung sa iyo, then mag-create ka ng technology or mag-adapt ka ng technology that does not provide inclusivity. Meron nahihet siya pera or hindi pala magiging bias against certain members of the society. But in order for you to do that, si-circle yun ba? Doon sa competence mo na maunawaan, sino ba yung mga magbe-benefit ito, sino yung mga maapektuhan nito, paano ba magiging risk ito. At yung commitment mo to, it has to be fair, it has to be truthful, it has to have social responsibility, it has to protect the environment. So commitment mo yun is competence, commitment, and compassion has to go together for that. Kasi the moment na nakita mo lang, ito, malaki kikitain namin dito. Hindi mo na iniisip na. uy, by the way, itong solution na to, ang dami namin magagamit na personal information na pwede na gamitin namin for something else. Then medyo now you border on the gray zone, and I don't think that is something as Thomasians would want to be in.
Parang nakikita natin ngayon, Sir Manny, no? Although we have to build yung technical capability ng mga Thomasian graduates with the revolution in such technology, parang mas kailangan pa yata nating reinforce yung 3Cs the more, di ba? Kasi tayo na yung gagamit ng mga technologies na ito, and they would actually, multiply yung capability natin as compared sa mga times na wala pa yung mga technology na ito. Grabe, Sir Manny, nakikita natin ngayon yung mga chats sa ating FB Live. They're saying this is very enlightening. They're saying na yung safeguarding ng the policies should not only safeguard but also promote yung benefits ng AI natin, to highlight that. At ang dami nagsasabi na very interesting, kaya lang medyo yung oras natin, Sir Manny, yung limited, no? Siguro maganda, Sir Manny, magka-episode 2 itong ating episode ngayon, no? Dahil ang dami nakaka-relate, dahil ang dami natin gumagamit ng ganitong technologies, baka yung iba sa atin napapao nga, no? I am very complacent with the use of this technology. Hindi ko na naiisip may ganito nga palang mga risks. So, before we wrap everything up, Sir Manny, siguro, as a final message, I'd like you to share the importance of revisiting yung values natin, how we conduct ourselves in a digital world in connection to our topic tonight on digital ethics.
Una-una, yung digital technologies continuously evolve. At yung impact nila sa society at sa human behavior will be significant, no doubt about it. Tingnan nyo yan, yung buong mundo is evolving into a global digital economy. For the Philippines as a nation to be able to compete in the digital economy, we have to be able to revisit our own policies and values. And we have to be able to let everybody understand that there is value to these technologies, but there is also risks. An example niyan, sabi natin na yung rise ng social media, online communications have led to new forms of crimes, harassment, OSAIC, cyberbullying. Diba? May mga nagpapakamatay nga kasi sila cyberbully sila.
Sir.
Totoo po yan. Nakakalungkot.
Yung mental health issues that we're facing right now, we haven't seen that during my time. Kasi wala naman panahon namin. Text lang kami dati. Text na gano'n. Apatin pera kami. Pero ngayon, nakikita nila, kasi people tend to create a virtual world in the social sphere. It's not necessarily what they are. And then yung mga peers na nakikita sila, and then they say, boy, ba't sila gano'n? Ako hindi.
Yes, sir, may tendency to compare kasi nag-post nakikita.
Yung virtual selves nila, very perfect, no? Very ideal.
Misinformation nandun din, so you have to be able to safeguard against that. So kailangan mong tignan palagi ako. Yung pag-revisit natin, an updating ng values natin, has to have an anchor, and the anchors have to be all about humanity. If your anchor is productivity and gain business, baka hindi yun eh. It's only a part of it. When people think about madi-displace kami ng mga robots, well, seriously, yung kanina yung topic natin nung nag-uusap tayo sa labas, yung mga nurses, baka si Sophia na. An army of Sophias can help that. I'm sure that if you stand before the Philippine Nurses Association and show them Sophia, gugulpihin niyo si Sophia. Because it's taking away their job. Because they don't understand the value that Sophia brings. What Sophia brings is that in an infectious pandemic such as this, it de-risks the job that they do, just like our Lisa. Si Lisa robot natin.
Yes, from engineering.
It will augment them such that in very important critical stages, meron silang katulong. It should not be seen as a competitor. I-displace kami ito. No, it's supposed to make your work simpler to help you, to support you. But the moment na hindi nila naintindihan nyo, kasi hindi sila nabiyahan, yun ang reception, ipupush back nila yan. No? But again, one thing, Sophia cannot replace the human compassion at this stage in time. Iba yung care na dinideliver ng talagang tao na nurse sa i-deliver ni Sophia.
Of course.
Nandun kasi sir yung empathy, tsaka yung sense of responsibility.
Yes, although meron ngayong iniisip sila yung sinasabi nila yung existentialism na issue with the AI, na at some point in time itong mga AI magle-learn din sila to become empathic, to show emotion. But siguro not during our time. And you know why? Kasi nagpapalit, nag-iiba din yung levels natin ng compassion, ng empathy as we see the things around us in the environment. Hindi ba? So, paano hahabulin yun? Okay, at least, my view, I might be wrong 50 years from now. I don't know.
I know. Baka biglang bilis, no? We did not imagine na we'll live through something na ganon. So, noon kasi kahit po ito, iniisip lang natin, di ba? But now, everything had become reality.
And that's why you have to have the framework.
Yes, opo. Ayan, siguro at this point in time, Ma'am Diana, we could share some key takeaways natin from this very, very fruitful discussion with Sir Manny on the topic of digital ethics. Sa akin, actually, Ma'am Diana, tinamaan ako dun sa changing excitement with having deep thinking on this topic, no? Kasi marami pala tayo mga no-overlook na mga bagay-bagay. At the same time, it gives us the need to reinforce yung integrity and humanity ng mga piniproduce nating mga graduates, para at least we are assured na once they are out there in the outside world, outside of the university, they'll be responsible users of this technology, not only informed but responsible. Tsaka naaalala ko dito, Sir Manny, Ma'am Diana, is that hindi mo dapat katakutan yung AI kasi ang labanan ngayon is sino mas magaling gumamit ng AI. So, more so, we have to learn more about AI, know its risk para hindi ka maging biktima, know how to use it para ma-maximize mo yung benefit. No?
Ako, sir, sobrang malaman talaga yung topic natin for today. Actually, it's a long debate yung topic regarding science and morality. Parang noon pa talaga siya pinagdidebatihan regarding that. But this afternoon, siguro ang key takeaway ko is that there's no need for competition between the science, the technology, and our morals. Kailangan lang mag-meet halfway and we have to regulate at that. Kailangan lang mag-take action lang tayo. Mag-take action lang tayo when it comes to developing policies, developing our values on that, no? Yun nga yung very important, Sir Manny, yung work nyo. On how we can shape our human values, embracing our digitalizations now, because actually hindi naman natin mapipigilan mag-work towards digital economy talaga ang mundo. So the only thing that we can do is to be ready and be equipped, no, to fully embrace that. So that's it. Thank you so much for this.
It has to begin with awareness and then yung proper grounding natin on our important moral values. Kasi yun ang pundasyon. Everything else comes from that.
Yan. And thank you, Sir Manny, kasi nakakuha tayo ngayon ng step 1 awareness. For sure, a lot of our viewers and listeners were made aware. No, even ako, ang daming parang na-open na mga thoughts sa akin with regard to the use of this technology. Siguro parang Ma'am Dayan, ang sarap umupo sa mga hearing or meetings nila Sir Manny para marinig natin yung mga topics na pinag-uusapan nila, no? Na naisip natin tayo yung end users. Ganito na pala ang mga napag-uusapan nilang mga topics na sort of we should be aware of. Ayan. So, Sir Manny,
That's
again,
why
thank
they
you
needed
for...
an engineer legal.
Yes. Kung nagtataka pa po ang ating mga listeners and viewers, anong ginagawa ni Engineer Manny sa legal team, that's the answer. We need an engineer in the legal. Ayan. So, thank you po again, Sir Manny, for gracing us with not only your presence but your generous sharing of knowledge to our viewers and listeners. Maraming salamat po sa pag-join nyo sa amin sa Bridges. So before we end and close this very, very insightful and enlightening discussion, I'd like to share a few announcements. Okay, una po, UST Alumni Association Incorporated and UST Office for Alumni Relation are jointly holding a very special and historic alumni homecoming for total awardees and distinguished alumni honorees. Ito po yung Thomasian Icons Alumni Homecoming. And this will be coming May 6, 2023. Ito po ay sa UST BGPA. Okay, this affair aims to celebrate the achievements of alumni like all of us here, serve as a venue to meet, socialize, share networks with fellow alumni icons, as well as rekindle memories of UST days. Isa pong major highlight ng occasion na to is the Grand Santa Cruzan and Flores de Mayo, which will be conducted on the same day. There will be a recitation of the Holy Rosary, offering of flowers, and Holy Mass before the Santa Cruzan procession around the UST campus. And the religious activities will start at 2 p.m. at the UST Santissimo Rosario Chapel or yung ating UST Chapel. Pangalawang announcement po, we'd like to wish good luck to all our UST engineering alumni na magte-take po ng kani-kanilang licensure or board examinations this coming months of April and May. That would be our alumni from the Department of Electrical Engineering. They will be taking their examinations April 25 to 27. And of course, our alumni from the Department of Chemical Engineering, who will then be taking their exam this coming May 16 to May 18. And last but not the least, we would like to invite you to our next episode. I'm sure as much as what we were able to learn today, we'll learn again a lot sa ating next episode of Bridges. This will be on May 2, 2023 at 4 p.m. And this will be sponsored by Conservatory of Music Alumni Association. They'll be sharing on the topic, the 21st Century Careers for Music Professionals, with none other than Dean Antonio Africa as their guest.
So everyone, on behalf po of the UST Engineering Alumni Associations Incorporated, through its president, Engineer Jason Ong, we would like to extend our gratitude, our special thanks to our guest, Engineer Manny Estrada, for sharing us your knowledge and wisdom about digital ethics and gaano ito ka-importante na as we are a country, we transform towards a digital Philippines. Thank you so much po, Sir Manny. We would also like to thank the USTAAI academics, especially Team Bridges, for giving us the opportunity to sponsor this episode of Bridges. Special thanks also to our corporate sponsors, the Imperial Nova, and Engineer Arman Takashi of UST Civil Engineers Batch 76. Yan. So again, folks, our viewers, please don't forget to like and share our show and subscribe to our UST Thomasian Alumni Community channel po sa YouTube. See you there. So this is Diana Marie po, one of your hosts for today's session. Thank you for spending your time with us. And here at Bridges, we build bridges of people, bridges of knowledge, and new learnings.
And ako naman po, si Aldrin Chan. Thank you all for listening and watching to our episode of Bridges Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love. God bless po to everyone. Thank you again, Sir Manny, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Salamat po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.